Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to GameFi Paradigm. I'm Usurper, and today we are here with speaking to a Voxton about placing bet or placing picks on photo finish.
Picks.
Yeah.
That is right. Very fun part of the game. And if you get good at doing it, a very profitable part of the game.
So where is it located if you wanted to find the area of placing picks?
So placing picks within any race just before the race window closes. So you've got the 10-minute selection window or a much longer selection window for claimers. But in standard races, in major graded races, as soon as they post those race forms, they'll open them pick windows up. Or at least open them up for browsing so you could pull the charts up and know where you want to place those picks. But the pick window will close. Um, I think it's about 5 minutes before the races run. Let me take a quick gander. I can pull one up and
Yeah.
see what's races.
So is it located in the home screen?
So yeah, if you go to Photo Finish's main website and then just
Mhm.
click on the races tab.
Oh, races tab. Okay.
Yep. And then one of the easiest way to just filter from there is go to selections open.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's for claiming. Never mind. Never mind. Disregard that. That's claiming. I'm thinking claiming. The easiest one is to go to the hottest action tab, the action tab, and that would be if you go to. Let me see if I can figure out where they moved that from because they rearranged their website a lot.
Oh.
Um, More than I like. Should be races. Where is the action? Not a quick filter, is it?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at
Okay.
too.
So this one would be a good one to just so click on um, the juiced filter. So if you click on quick filters on the races screen,
Uh huh.
where I do the vast
Oh,
majority of
juiced.
my pick placing is in juiced pools. The
Juiced. Okay.
reason why is because when you're placing picks in a non-juiced pool, it's purely PvP. So players put money in, players take money out. It's all based on where you kind of rank in your picks and the odds and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
With these juiced races, the game will take X amount of derby and juice those pools. So it's not player versus player, it's more player versus house at that point. So it's more kind of like playing a game of blackjack where you got
Mm-hmm.
like five players around a table playing against the house. You know, if any one of them wins, players win over the house. So I like rooting for anybody that lands a win, not just myself. But if you click on that juiced filter on
Uh-huh.
the upcoming races, that'll show you every juiced pool coming up that's already been juiced by the game. So
And
there's
you said
like,
this is player versus player or player versus house?
well, actually, this might be. Hold on, let me verify before we go down because I think it's just showing the Kingmaker. This isn't showing juiced pick pools. This is showing
Mm.
juiced race.
Oh yeah, I think I have to scroll down. They're scheduled, right? Oh, or is this different? Mega yacht stakes.
These are just showing all the free race entry juiced race pools. So yeah, I'll have to find. Oh, there used to just be a button for it right on the home screen that says "See hottest action pools"
Oh
or
yeah, because
something
I
along
see
those
this
lines.
pick subsidy. All of them
On
have
one of
that.
the juice races.
All of them. The
Okay,
Kingmaker.
so they do have it. I was looking at both the purses juiced and the pick subsidy. That's what you want to look at is the pick subsidy. So when you find a race with a pick subsidy, now we can't see the race entrance. So
Mm-hmm.
it was correct. We were on the right screen. I just
Okay.
was looking at the juiced races and not the juiced pick pools.
Mm.
But so that one is juiced by 1.6K Derby. So the game will if you click on the little I tab next to that too. So it'll show you that every single horse that enters that race
Mm-hmm.
is going to be juiced with a 1.6K pick by the game, not just 1.6K total. So if we get all 18 horses,
Yeah.
that turns into 18 times 1.6. So that turns into a 28.8K juiced pool. So the game will take 28,000 Derby, put 1.6K onto every horse, and then the odds will adjust based on additional picks made by other players on top of that.
Okay, so
This is where hunting for a long shot that wins. If you pick an 18 to 18x long shot to win and put 100 Derby down, you're going to get back 1,800 Derby minimum. Like easy money, or more than that, like 3,000 plus Derby.
But what do you have to enter here?
So we won't be able to see the picks on how to enter on these because they're too far out.
Oh,
16
tomorrow.
hours out, they're not going to have the races generated. So in 16 hours, these things will generate and populate, and you'll see the entries are all closed, and that's when they'll show you all of the horses racing. If you take the juiced flag off, and we can pull up a race that shows selection window open, and we'll go to a little bit longer one.
So take the unclick juiced?
Yep. So go ahead and unclick juiced, and then we'll just go back to all upcoming.
So this right here, what I'm looking at now? Okay.
Yep. So from the race tab, and then click on the all upcoming, and then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to a selection window open.
Okay.
Go ahead and we'll pull up that'll give us 10 minutes. Pull up the Pacific Commemorative Claiming 400. Actually, no, I don't think you can put picks on these. So, man, this is outside of the window of an actual placing picks race.
So, but usually, okay, so when they are popping up, they would show here.
So on the race screen, where you see like a list of the horses that are about to run, there would be a little checkbox next to each horse that you can select the horses. And then up top, there'll be, during that pick selection window, a, place pick, win, place, show, and you could pick the amount. We're not going to really be able to pull up and show that, unfortunately, without a race with picks. Like
that's fine. We can schedule another part 2 for actually looking at them. But okay, so but you would find it would be all on all upcoming, and then or you can find it by clicking this juiced tab here, right?
Juiced and it would tab, just show that'd be the juiced races, and then I know there's probably a button that I'm just missing, buried somewhere, that links back to the same like juiced pools, like. But I don't know where they've moved it to.
Okay.
My picks. Maybe make a pick. And nothing. No way of making a pick. I literally clicked on the link that says make a pick, and all that does is open the race screen. All right, commemorative trail. There's a benchmark, closing entries in 1 minute. Maybe that will give us something. I wonder if they removed that feature, because you used to be able to place picks on any race. I wonder if they removed that.
I thought I saw that too.
To remove the cheap race reports option.
I thought I remember seeing it on the home screen, but like, no wait, I see. Oh yeah, home screen, my picks. Is that what you clicked?
Yeah, and I clicked
make
on
a pick.
Make a pick, and it just went back to the race select.
Yeah, I see that all upcoming. But what are these? Like the Monday Mayhem? These are only on Mondays?
Yeah. Yep. So they've got scheduled weekly races every day of the week.
So wait, so this hasn't. Oh, this already finished. Okay. Okay. Is there any valuable data from these past ones that we can look at here?
Past
these recently settled.
not without having access to the PFL DRF site.
Okay.
We could dive in and just look at the horses and kind of make some predictions.
Yeah.
Without the PFL DRF, it's really not going to be as easy to narrow in the picks.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just 1 second.
Yeah. Damn.
So, kind of what you're looking at there. That one's got all the results and everything on it, but we saw that Funds Are Self U ended up winning it. Did not have the best morning line odd. Decent record, a little bit older. But the records are what we're going to get. We're going to get the data of records on those PFL DRF forms. So that form I linked you for that Lucky Dash up there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and break this down.
Yeah.
PFLDRF.com is the website to go to. And this right here is a link to a specific race. You can pull up historic races if you have the exact link.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, they don't have like, go back and look at historic races or any of that stuff.
Well, that would have been nice.
So, looking at this form, this is going to be what a form looks like when you go to the main PFL DRF website. There'll be a list of all the races that have pick pools, and it'll show you, like a list of the name and the distance and all that. You just click on it, it opens up this screen. What this does now is it lists out all of the horses that are in the race, shows their 15 last races. It shows averages of so one thing, the first things to look at is the yellow circle around firm.
Okay.
What that means is you're running off preference. So that's a firm horse running on a soft track. If you look at the 6 furlong left dirt soft, that's the archetype for this race, and it's a firm horse. So you can go through and kind of pinpoint looking at on preference horses first.
Mm-hmm.
What I like to do instead of that, because very often in these S plus races, on preference doesn't dictate winning.
Mm-hmm.
It just dictates running a little stronger. So what I like to look at is the fleet figure categories and the race time categories to start out with. So if you look in Rod Tang and you go over that first box of stats that kind of looks like a baseball stat box, like a baseball scoreboard, that right there.
That's right. Okay.
What I look for when I start scrolling down is I will look at the max fleet figure category and the average fleet figure category. I use this to narrow down my selection of a handful to lean into a little bit more, and then I'll go back and look for outliers afterwards. So looking at that, if you look on the left-hand side of that box, starting out with those categories, those are starts, wins, place, and show.
Yeah.
Lifetime, 24 starts, and that's his full-time record. 6 furlong, 12 starts, 3 wins, 1 place, 4 shows. Runs a clean 6. Soft track, ran 2, won 1, only podium the time he won. Max fleet figure. So now what we do is those fleet figure categories.
Mm-hmm.
Lifetime max, 87. 6 fleet figure or 6 furlong max, 85. Soft max, 79. We know we're running on 6 furlong soft. Going over to the next block of data on the right, this shows 24 dirt starts, 24 left starts, and 24 116-pound starts. The horses never ran with weight, only ever ran weight-free. You can see their records at these preferences and their maximum fleet figure of 87, but then their average of 78. So when I'm looking at these blocks of maximum and average in each of these windows, starting with the one on the left, And then I go back and do the same thing, or I'll glance at the one on the right as I scroll down. I'll keep my eyes on the max and average category in the left box, and I'll just scroll down the horses. And I'll look for who had really high max fleet figures and really high averages overall. So as I'm scrolling down the list, I'm just keeping an eye on that max and average category. Okay, so 84, 84, 79, another off preference. 88, 86, 85, off preference. You know, good averages, an 80 fleet figure average. Autopsy, you know, another off preference. Going down, lower average fleet figures, lower maximums, pretty good maximums, pretty decent. That Arturo looks nice.
86, right? You're
And,
looking at?
and Arturo, no, that
Uh-huh.
number 5 there.
Uh-huh.
So the Arturo, he's got the 86 maxes. He's got that 77 average there at the 6 furlong. So he runs a really clean 6.
Okay.
Okay. So like as you're going down, you make note of any of these ones that have like decent numbers
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to want to go back and dig deep. So like as I'm going down, Arturo is a name I'd put on the list. Cosa Caper is a name I'd put on the list. There was another one up top, Supersonic.
Okay, so yeah, so supersonic.
So as you're going through, if you see a horse that you're like, okay, that horse has a really high max fleet figure, a pretty good average, and a good win rate.
Mm-hmm.
Click on the name Supersonic V2.0 and it'll pull that horse up. It'll actually open up the photo finish page for
Oh,
that horse.
nice.
So what I'll do is I'm going down the list. When I see horses that like, oh, that one's interesting. Oh, that one's interesting. I'll just open a new tab and slap that horse in the tab. And then I'll go and do more deep diving on the horses. But so as you're going down this list, just look at those categories and pick which ones stand out to you and just open a tab for each of those horses. Pick 5 horses that stand out to you the most out of these 18 and we'll see how you do.
Oh, wait, are you saying me?
Just, yeah, you.
Okay.
Just based on
Oh,
those
okay.
just based on those stats, go down the list and if a
Okay.
horse looks like it's got good numbers there,
Uh-huh.
just pick the top 5 that look the most potential to you.
Okay. So, and you said I'm just looking at that max right now, right?
So you're looking at the max and the average. You don't want to just look at the max because if
Okay.
they ran one anomalous max
Mm-hmm.
and then every other one was a 60,
Mm-hmm.
chances are they're going to run a 60 or a 70 fleet figure.
So you said the max right here, 86, right? 86, right? And then the average, you're saying what, 77.42?
Mm-hmm.
And
75
75.13.
left. Yep.
Okay.
75 dirt, 75 left, 75, 116 pounds, 73.6 on soft. So not the best soft record, but out of 9 soft races has podiumed 4 times. So it's not that bad of a record when you consider, you know, out of that many races, this horse has gotten quite a few soft podiums. Out of 6 furlongs, 12 races, 2, 3, and 2. So that's 7 out of 12 races podiumed on 6 with some wins. So yeah, this one right here would be one that I would personally be like, okay, Arturo, that's one to look at. Cosa Caper, same thing. You got the 88 max, 85 at 6, 82 at soft, even though he's a firm. Out of two soft races, we got 2 soft wins. And an 82 max with an 80 average. So Cosa Caper, definitely high on the list of potential horses.
Okay.
So as you open these as well, so I'm going to show you the easiest way. Just open these tabs, just right click, add new tab. And then what I do, and I'll show you how I do it, is I put the race on the far left, and then I'll open all the horses for said race. And then as I start doing both my chart searching as well as my bloodline deep dive, I just rearrange the tabs in the order that I feel they're going to place based on what I see. So go ahead and just get a list. No, that one's the races.
Oh,
I move the
actual race
themselves, and I'll order the horses in the order I think. So if I thought Arturo would win, I would make sure he'd be the first tab.
Yeah.
And then if Supersonic looked better than Arturo as my 4th horse, then maybe I might slide Supersonic ahead of Arturo. But that's how I kind of like will make my pick selections is I'll pull up my list of about 5 good horses. And then I'll do a deep dive on those. I'll look at race data, historic race data against one another. And that's on the PFL DRF's chart. I'll show you that part.
Okay.
So go ahead and go through and pick your 5, and we'll go on to the next step.
Okay. Pepper.
Miss Pepper got low peaks, low averages, doesn't look that great. Is on preference, but not one that I'd be like, it doesn't scream out to me. Doesn't jump off the paper. Borealis doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
Could be a performer. You got the 87 maxes, you got the 74, 75, and 72 average. Soft is a little weak, but could produce.
Which one's weak?
Places on soft. The soft. So if you look at soft, 6 starts, only 2 third-place performances with a max of 79 and an average of 72.
Oh, so the 6 right here is the amount of times they've raced that and only placed third twice. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I was gonna get confused over that. Okay, that's right. Start.
And then just as another data point for you, if you look at the race history, okay, you can actually go down and see if there's data. So you got a 6F left dirt soft right there, and we know that third race. S plus max, that was a stakes race. There were 12 horses in it, and that horse placed 8th.
Late,
on
right?
this exact race this was the exact race preferences. Slow time for a 6. Minute 10 is slow. Like an A plus will run a faster minute, 6 furlong if they run well. So that one right there, I don't think I'd be putting Borealis on my list, especially because if you look to the right of that, the top 3, if one of those names is highlighted, like Rod Tang and Lussey's Matrix, see how they're bold? Those horses are in this race. If a horse's name is in bold, they're in this race, and it'll show you if any horse has raced another horse previously and how the top 3 placed in those races. So as you're going down this list, you can kind of, as you see one, like Borealis looked interesting at first, right?
Yeah.
Then we started looking into the soft. Really weak performance on soft. Pull up some soft previous race. Rod Tang and Lucy Matrix, 2 horses in this race, beat the brakes off of him. Go back and look at the rest of his race history and see how many times Rod Tang has beat him.
Where are you seeing Rod Tang right here. Oh, okay. Okay.
Rod Tang and Lucy's Matrix are both in this race.
Oh, okay.
Down to the 7 furlong good. Rod Tang and Borealis. So Borealis got a second to Rod Tang. Any race where you're seeing Rod Tang in the list?
Yeah. Oh, Borealis. Okay.
Rod Tang is running better than Borealis.
Okay.
So Rod Tang, in my opinion, is a more solid pick than Borealis, and I would leave Borealis off of my top 5 because of it.
And what I was gonna ask you on this too. What is this early, mid, late thing here? I've seen that before.
That shows the place that they are in the race, depending on when that part of the race is. So in the first third of the race, they're early is like this in that race. It was dead last at the beginning of the race. By the middle of the race, still dead last, 12th place. But by the end of the race, either 4 horses dropped off or it pushed up past 4 to get to 8th. But that's what it's showing is like at what point in the race where it was in position. And you can kind of use those numbers, be like, okay, I can see that I start slow, I have weak start, but it ramps up by the mid tier, and then by the end, I'm first place. That's kind of how you can pinpoint if you're in the right wheel.
Interesting. I never even knew that. I was like, what the hell are these numbers for? Now I understand when I'm looking at my horses.
A lot of numbers on the screen, but yeah, if you break it down, it's actually very valuable data.
Sorry, Borealis, you would not be my pick. Okay, next one here, Boston Molly. Max average or max, not that great, right? So 82. I mean, it's still good, right?
0-star preference. 82 is good, but not for an S plus. If we were looking at an S. If we were looking at an S or S minus, it'd be great. But at an S, 82 is a very admirable number for an S. S's are beating the brakes off of S pluses right now. The high heart roll S's are winning. Like last year's Kentucky Derby was an S.
So yeah, 82. What's the minimum for an S minus? Basically, pretty much that signifies that it's good.
I mean, good or amazing, because I mean you've got S minus horses that have put up 90 plus fleet figures before, but I I would say if your S minus is putting up 75 or better fleet figure consistently,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be figuring out if he's got the heart to race for championships, because that's 75 plus on an S minus. Usually, even good statted S minuses are going to be landing high 60s, low 70s. You'll often see like 68 to 73,
Mm-hmm.
with a few races that will be like anomalous, like 77s. And then the really good ones will hit like 80s and 90s as an S minus. Now,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as max fleet figure goes, it's these are the grades of horses that will set them, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to take big races and a big spread of strong horses to push those numbers and times down and fleet figures up. So every single season, as the spread of competition gets stronger and horses get stronger,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to start to see the limits of those fastest times and everything start to shift a little bit as the new horses, as we move towards SSS. I think SSS is the final grade, quote unquote.
Oh wow.
But, when we get to
Uh,
SSS, those are going to be the best times, and you're going to see these fleet figure numbers adjust quite a bit.
okay,
But
I wouldn't
until
go.
then, got great data.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't go with
Kristen,
Christian. Yeah, I wouldn't go with this one.
lifetime max is good. 6 furlong, only ran one, didn't even podium, never ran soft. I don't know that Kristen My Babe would be one that I would lean into. And, Kristen My Babe has some performance at like 5 left dirt good,
Mm-hmm.
6 last morning on a good track, who's also in this race, and Kosa Caper, who we talked about before,
Yeah.
both outperformed Kristen My Babe at a 6. So yeah, this is just like without having any evidence that this horse likes 6 furlong, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be placing picks on it.
So you said lifetime, so it's 26, but you said it was good. So 9 wins out of
No,
26 is good, or
no, 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 no,
oh,
no.
oh,
The
okay,
maximum fleet figure of 88 is good.
oh, okay.
So records are very much relative. Definitely don't like discredit race records,
Mm-hmm.
but also don't put all of your eggs into race records, because you have to keep in mind that that's still somebody selecting those races.
Mm-hmm.
I've made some of my best claimer and marketplace pickups on horses that were raced incorrectly and
Yeah.
then listed as trash prices because they felt like they just weren't going to perform.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure not to just be like, okay, it's got a terrible race record, must be trash. Because if they've just been running in all the wrong races for that horse, it's not going to have a good race record. But we can pick out parts of those race records, like that 88 fleet figure max. If there's not a better fifth horse, we could add that one to the list and dig in and see what triggered the 88. Can it be
Mm-hmm.
triggered again in this race? Is this the only big race other than the other 88 that will tap into that heart and actually produce? So, like, those are the things to kind of look at in what we're presented here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead and keep on going down your list, and
I'm
we'll
adding weird whims here for sure.
adding weird whims. Okay, so low on the maxes, good on the averages. We've got good lifetime wins. One thing I would
Oh wait.
recommend
Mm-hmm.
is be sure to keep an eye on grades. I'm not trying to say an S won't win it,
Oh
but
yeah.
you're looking at an S versus S pluses right now. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going to have a race record racing against both S's and S pluses. But if you look at like how that one did in all of these S plus max races versus other race history, you'll see like it's got what, 2 wins against S plus max and a win against 90 fleet figure benchmark max. So that's a pretty good record
Mm-hmm.
of winning against S plus horses. But then you look at how many horses were in each of these races that it actually won. 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5.
Oh, this right here. Okay, S. Okay, S
We don't
max.
see any 1 out of 12s. We don't see
Yeah.
any 1 out of 20s. We don't see any one out of.
Oh.
We don't even see even 1 out of 8s. So keep that in mind. I'm
Yeah.
not saying don't add weird whims to your list.
Yeah.
And she could be a good one, but there's a lot of factors to juggle with every single pick selection. And that's why, like,
Oh.
knowing how to dissect this data quickly is important. You get about 5 minutes to research.
Oh, well, really? Oh, crap.
Mhm.
Oh, then I'm
Now,
already
now
way
on majors
past.
and things, yeah, on majors and things, you can kind of get away with it, but on most of these like pick window selections on normal nights,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll be pulling up races and you'll have about 5 to 10 minutes to analyze, make a sound judgment, place your pick.
Oh, so what is that at? You said time limit?
So basically, the selection windows will open, the pick selection windows, and you'll be able to break down horses, and like you'll have usually hours on majors days. So like on these majors races, they know who's going to be in these races ahead of time. So they'll pull their 18 selections for the graded majors, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to pull up these PFL DRF charts, hours before the race runs, and
Mm-hmm.
then make some educated picks when it comes to time. But for any of the other races you'd be placing picks on, these PFL DRF forms,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you won't be able to generate them until the selection window. After the race closes, you got 10 minutes and then the race pops. So
Jesus.
you got to be quick
Yeah.
when you're doing your data. Like, that's why I said you got a 10-minute selection window. So you got about 5 minutes to really dive in
Mm-hmm.
and do all the data juggling, make your picks in order, and then go and place your picks on the website, all before the pick window closes. So, but yeah, go ahead and keep on
Thanks.
going through your list. Ballon d'Or is good looking S plus. Looking at the race records, we got 45 races with 10 wins. We got 19 out of 45 podiums,
Mm,
maximum fleet figures of 85, good averages. Ran 5 softs with 2 wins, no other podiums. Um,
oh yeah, right here. Okay. Too
see
strong.
here.
Oh wait,
Recent
no.
race history. So
Oh.
if you look at recent race history, if Ballon hasn't, you know, won anything in two
Uh.
seasons, then
Oh
you're
Jesus.
gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna see past peak. But that you don't have that there.
Yeah.
Ballon had that 85 fleet figure win. If you look at that 1 out of 7 Emerald Stakes Memorial here, 6 furlong, left dirt fast. This is a left dirt soft.
Oh, here. Okay, I see that.
So the one recent win there, and then
Mm-hmm.
we've got a good and a fast win. But if you look at soft rating, so we can look at the soft up there. Avernus won that one, that second race, the Thunderbird Classic Stakes. So
Okay, this one here.
Avernus beat this horse
Yeah.
on that and is in this race because his name is highlighted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And then if you go down
This is
to
really
the
good
other soft,
information.
yep,
Oh
if you go
shoot.
down to like that third from the bottom here, that's a 5F soft. You'll see Supersonic version 2.0, one of the horses we've got
Mm.
pulled up already.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I put them
Got a
on the
second
list.
in that one. And Ballon d'Or, nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
On these soft tracks, we've got 2 soft wins. Who knows when they were? Maybe he'll perform today, maybe not.
I'm not
Standing
gonna do that.
standing sprint, decent win record, never ran on soft. You'd be able to try to see if he's ran on sloppy, but we've got just a huge question mark. It's a strong overall horse, decent averages at 6,
Mm-hmm.
never ran on soft. Could run his best race at soft, could run his worst race at soft. We won't know until the race pops off.
Oh, okay. So fast and yielding, right?
It
For
is
6.
off
Okay.
preference, and that's why he's not got any soft data because
Yeah.
he's a firm horse.
Okay.
Midnight
Okay.
Sapphire. Midnight Sapphire is an interesting firm runner. You've got 87 highest, 85 highest at 6 furlongs. He's got
Mm-hmm.
a 50% podium rate, a 25% win rate at 6 furlongs. He's got a 25% win rate just lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
an almost 50% podium rate lifetime. And ran 5 softs, got 2 wins with an 81 max and an average of 75. So that means,
Oh.
couple of pretty good ones, couple of pretty bad ones, but has the potential of putting up a pretty solid runtime on soft. Midnight Sapphire has wins on soft track, which is something to look at recently. So recent wins, if you look like that fifth one down, that Bluegrass Stakes, breakaway stakes, Midnight Sapphire beat Avernus, who got a third.
hmm.
You know, and if you go and look at any of these 6 furlongs, like that second one on yielding, Supersonic beat Midnight Sapphire, and so did Cosa Caper. But we
Oh
don't know
man.
if they're going to be better on soft. So that's where you're going to have to really like look at soft results. Now, the Harbor Classic Sprint there, where there's nothing on soft, no placement at all, that Midnight Sapphire could be really, really strong and probably will run a good race.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not at a podium.
Oh wow. Give me one second
yeah,
here. Let me scroll down. Whew. All right, in demand.
in demand, pretty below average. Never won on soft, never won on 6 furlongs. Yeah,
Oh
that wouldn't
yeah.
be.
No, I'm not going for that one.
Um,
Hop, skip, jump.
Hop, skip, jump, good lifetime win rate.
1 out of
3
11. Good.
podiums at 6, only 1 win, never ran a soft, but got some really high fleet figures and really good average fleet figures. So hop, skip, jump.
Yeah,
If
I'm gonna add this one.
hop, skip can run on soft, this will be one of those upsets.
Oh, he's beat Rod Tang before, and at least placed with him.
Mm-hmm.
Rod
Lucy's
Tang,
Lucy's Matrix has beat him, but at further distance. You know, if you look at the
man.
6s, looks solid at 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going with him. Yeah, I'm
definitely worthy of the list. Yeah.
Oh, there's Avernus.
Avernus, we've seen some wins at 6. We've seen some
Yeah,
wins at soft. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. So a
floppy.
50% podium rate on soft. 3, 4, 5, 6. So almost a 50% at 6 podium rate. Lifetime 8, 19, 11, 16 out of 32. So almost a 50% lifetime podium rate. Yeah, real solid horse. 4-year-old male. Weird Whims recently has a win up against, but on 4 furlong.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the 6s on Sloppy, runs real strong.
That's so weird.
Soft.
His star preferences. Jesus.
Yep.
But he likes that soft sloppy, right?
He likes that soft and sloppy. 86 max. The average is a little on the weak side, so he probably wouldn't be at the top of my list, but he's definitely a good pick. And then last but not least, last morning. Good maxes, only 2 softs ever, not a great average.
Oh yeah. 14, only 4 wins.
Out of 50,
Okay.
4 out of 6, 4 out of 14.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Podium,
pick
2 out
him.
of 14 wins. Yeah,
He
doesn't
hasn't
look
placed
bad.
first either, from against
Yeah,
all the other ones.
doesn't look bad, but definitely hasn't been performing lately. So, all right.
Okay,
Well,
I think I got my 5. I got Supersonic, Arturo, Costa Caper, Hop, Skip, Jump, and
all right. So yeah,
Avernus.
I've got pop open tabs for Avernus and Hopskit, so you have them up there with your other 3.
Oh yeah, and then Hop, Skip.
And then we've got a couple of different things we can use for the whittle portion, and that's what we're doing. We're whittling down to 3 selections right now.
Mm-hmm.
So before I go and really dive in and look at every horse's race history to see like, okay, how many times has it raced against this horse? How many times has it beat this horse? I like to look at a few things. So each tab, go ahead and click on charts for me. And these are left dirt firms. So scroll down and filter that chart left dirt.
Okay.
Do the same thing with all the other tabs. Just leave it on those charts. Scroll down, left dirt. Next tab, scroll down, charts, left dirt. Next tab, scroll down.
Give me 1 second here. Oh, shoot. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Chart. Yeah. Loop, left dirt, and
all right. Okay, so we got all 5 tabs open on the charts screen. What we're looking for here is this is a comparison of all the left dirt Times. So this is the speeds at which these races were ran. We know we're running a 6 furlong track.
Mhm.
So we want to find which of these horses consistently runs towards the top of those wicks. The grayed out block there in the 6 where you see the 3 little green dots,
Mhm.
that's kind of like your average range of speed or times completed for 6 furlong track for S plus grade horses. So keep in mind, charts are subjective and
Yeah.
it's a scale based on the grade of the horse. So just because somebody has a higher wick on this page, an S with a higher wick won't always beat an S plus with a lower wick because it's based on the in grade comparison.
Mhm.
But that being said, so what you're going to look for is the 6. So you got every distance here on the bottom.
Mhm.
You're going to just look at the 6 category and just go between those tabs and see which ones look the best at 6 furlongs as far as the times that they've
Ooh.
actually recorded in the races.
So it
So
looks like
of those,
supersonic.
Cosa Caper and Supersonic both have really high above wick performance.
Okay.
And then, so looking at the other ones left, you got a one that's on the borderline, Avernus, not a whole lot. Arturo is raced a lot at 6, and
Mhm.
it's all over the spread.
Oh, there.
Um, so we have two, prime candidates as far as speed.
Uh-huh.
We don't know where they're at in their form as far as the lifetime of their running without like pulling up gap data. And I don't use too many of those XS tools, especially not for placing picks.
Mhm.
So for hop, skip, jump, Arturo and Avernus, we don't really have a lot of above wick data to be like, okay, cool, he runs well. You could look at the races around it, 5s and 7s, and like maybe we just haven't ran enough 6s, or maybe these 6s weren't quite on preference. And so taking that into account,
Mhm.
you can use that as a key point. And then also what we're going to do next is go back to Supersonic version 2.0. And we've got them in order right now, just loosely between these two.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to scroll back up and go to the Fleet Figures tab now.
Okay.
So we know we're running on soft track, right?
Yeah.
So now what you want to look for is in his race history, doesn't even have to be 6 furlong race history. Where do the blue dots fall on that chart? Because the blue dots are soft track.
This one,
And
this
we
one
know
right
we're
here.
racing that chart right there. All of those blue dots there in the 5 furlong, you see the 5 furlong, those 2 blue dots? That's where he placed when he raced soft. Now, when
Five
he raced
furlong.
fast, the red dots, fast was through the roof. That shows me, personally,
Mhm.
this horse is a fast track runner, but has a genetic proclivity to prefer fast or good track. See, on 6s, his
Oh,
best
fives.
times are good.
Two blues.
On
Okay.
5s, his best times are fast, but the blues he hasn't raced enough soft to know. We don't see soft peaks. So if you go
Oh,
to the
fast.
fleet figure
Okay.
page now, on all 5 of these picks, go to that fleet figure page and you'll compare the dot data and see kind of where they fall in the list of where does soft track running land. Okay. Looking for blue dots, looking for blue dots, looking for blue. And there's some nice blues. Well, on that second to last one, I think it was Arturo. Did Arturo have some nice blues?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So we had that 82, like 81 fleet figure blue at
Oh shoot.
5. We
Mm-hmm.
have a 78 fleet figure at blue at 6. So even though this is not, or maybe this is a soft horse. This guy's a soft horse.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you see those solid, like really solid high numbers at the distance you're in, and if you got some low ones, we can even go back and look at historic race data
Mm-hmm.
and see. So this fella right here has put up solid numbers on soft, so he does have some historic data. That would probably get me to move him at least up into the top 3 picks.
Okay.
Um,
Oh yeah, I just saw right here. Soft, sloppy, soft, yielding, fast.
and
Woo.
we've got a win at 6 right there. I mean,
Oh shoot. Early 17, mid 14, and then he won. Crazy.
yep.
Okay. See
And that's just
now I
one.
know how to read this. That's cool.
Yep, and that's kind of what you want to look for when you're crunching your numbers is you'll go charts, that's your time. That's how
Mm-hmm.
fast they can run. Charts is their potential of being the fastest horse in the game is where they land on those chart peaks. Fleet figure is how close to the perfect race they ran, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that number will, vary. And so comparing chart times plus fleet figures, there's one more data point that I go into with all 5 picks, and it could shift things up. Go back to Supersonic, and we're going to go to the Bloodlines.
Oh, let's one second
Do the
here.
same thing. Just go to all of them. And what we're checking for is stat comparisons for big racing. And the biggest one is we want to see high heart to high heart breeds, because heart works in several different ways based on, data that's provided and race analysis. Heart's based on, the stakes or the importance or significance of the race, and it seems to be triggered by the spread of horses around you. If heart is the factor in everything data wise, is when I see high heart horses racing, what tends to happen is maybe they don't run insanely fast, but the other horses around them tend to get spooked and run slower. It's like when they run up next to a high heart horse, they just don't want to pass it.
Intimidated.
They get intimidated and just drop back. It's very interesting. Now, there's been, like, in the past, I believe there was talk that horses didn't influence, or maybe it just meant they didn't bump into other horses. But
nothing's confirmed, right?
I've noticed with low heart against high heart,
Mm-hmm.
even I've got a horse that wins all the dang time. In that last push, it just throttles back to second. It won't have the heart to stay up there in the lead of the pack, because it gets up close and just zips back up, down, up, just like that, back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, looking at, like the heart S plus to S minus, there are several different combinations that could roll.
Mm-hmm.
That could roll down to S minus.
Mm-hmm.
It could average out to S. It could take a S plus or get a crit roll up to SS minus. We don't know. It's an in-grade temper to in-grade temper, so the tempers match on it, and I found that those are good breeds. But this could be a decent breed, not a lot of heart, probably not going to be a big performer.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion is, when I'm picking winners for these big races, because this is a graded major wild card,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have heart, because we're going to run into some S pluses in this list that are going to have a lot. So I don't know if Supersonic would be first on my pick, even though he looked good in every other regard. I don't think he's going to have the heart to show up.
Okay. All right, now moving to Casa.
Mm-hmm. So we got an S plus to S plus heart, SS minus speed to SS minus speed. With SS minus start to S plus start, this is ideal sprinter breeding.
Okay.
This Cosa Caper, strong contender, and I would move Cosa Caper likely above Supersonic V2.0.
Okay.
And let's see here. Arturo. Let's see what Arturo looks like. S minus to SS minus. So we got an SS minus mom. This could have throttled back to S plus. We could have carried SS minus directly over.
Mm-hmm.
And we have SS plus speed. That mom is nasty good.
Mm-hmm. And he's already a soft horse too.
Nasty good. I think that this fella could have a solid race, first or second place. I mean, he's
I don't know. I'm feeling first. I think I might move him to first.
Slide him up there.
Okay.
Slide him on up.
Oh no. Okay, so then what? Hop skip?
Yep. S minus to S minus. I don't think Hop Skip is going to have a big day. Probably a mid pack spread. Not going to have the heart. It's going to get spooked a lot. It'll probably start off fairly decent and just tank, because it's going to be spooked by its competition. At this point, I would personally be like, nope, Hop Skip's off my list, and I would just close the tab.
Okay.
And then now I'm down to 4,
And then we got, how do you pronounce it? Avernus? Avernus?
Yeah. S plus to S minus, another one of those. Now, this one is a high finish breed. This is, that Quibismo. or however you say that mom's name. She's a solid S plus, other than her heart. She would make really good distance babies with that SS minus finish and S plus stamina. This is a distance mom bred to a distance dad. Heart, temper, finish. That's the only pluses on dad. So
And
this
it is a
horse, in my
soft.
opinion, is this would do better at like an 8 based on breeding. Avernus would be more of an 8 furlong based on breeding. A good 8 furlong, but an 8 furlong. And because of that, I'd probably go ahead and drop Avernus off the list. And now I'm on the whittle mode where it's down to Arturo, Cosa Caper, and Supersonic V2.0. And now it's just picking the order. And I'm pretty happy with this order. I mean,
Okay.
we got the soft horse up top. He's got really good heart and amazing mom. Good race data, good record. Not the best averages, but solid. Cosa Caper, the firm horse that's got the best soft record and really high breeding as well. And then Supersonic V2.0 is the favorite to win, but didn't really have the juice on paper. He may not even make podium, but he's a solid third pick. So now
And then we have the race too.
We've got
We
the
have
race
the
up, so we can see how we did. So we're saying Arturo, Cosa Caper, and Supersonic.
let's see here and results whenever it loads. Oh, damn! Oh shoot! And we put him in front. Damn!
And in our second place, got a third. So we landed 2 out of 3 podium picks on the podium.
And you were already hesitant with Supersonic.
A 6th. But
Supersonic, yeah.
He was the morning line odds, or he was the betting favorite, not the morning line odds favorite. But yeah, Kristen, my babe, actually did pretty good there. Miss Pepper with a surprise second with a 23X. Arturo with a 22X.
Oh, Rotang, Jesus.
Or not morning line, but betting odds. A 22X. So if you would have put in
who?
Arturo.
If
you would have put in 100 Derby on Arturo at a 22X, it would have returned 2,200 Derby.
Wow. And just to mention this on the video, so we had pulled up the race, but he didn't see the result. I didn't see the result. I just quickly opened it, and then we thought of the idea of running through the Lucky Dash wild card, right? I think that's what it's called, right? Or the PFLDRF, right? We decided to look through that and have him break it down his method, because we didn't see the result. We pulled it up, but we didn't see the result. And
won't hit
that was crazy. Yeah.
On pick nights, I usually will land at least 2 winners at least. And maybe an exacta when I'm lucky. I've landed a couple trifectas in the free picks, like in chat, to win on a horse by guessing first, second, and third in the right order. But there's RNG, there is luck. Some horses will have their best day, and you don't know why. Some are reaching their peak. You could look at ages as well, like, hey, that one's a year older, but he's running his best he's ever ran, so he's kind of peaking right now. So you can factor in those things too. But when you bounce all the data off of each other, there's so much data there. You can make very educated picks by just really going through all of tick all the boxes. Don't leave anything unturned. Check times, check fleet figures, check race history, check age, check recent race performance, check bloodlines, check for heart. Heart is very important in these big races. Arturo, I'm pretty sure had pretty good heart roll, didn't he? That was the SS minus heart mom, I think, was Arturo.
S minus, SS minus, yeah.
Yep, the SS plus speed to SS minus on the mom. I mean, that's an amazing roll. Even going to the S minus on the dad. Yeah, that's not a great heart comparison. I probably would have gone to a higher heart dad personally, but this horse got a good heart roll. And his race records, I bet you he's got better race performance on the big races than he does on little races because of that heart. And if you go to like race history, you'll be able to go through and see like on, stakes and things like that, probably puts up pretty good performance. And then benchmarks and allowances, maybe not as much. So there's an allowance. It's probably just, if you pull that one up, he's probably the best horse in the race. Yeah, highest morning line odds, highest stats, only S plus. Yeah, able to carry weight, probably got a little bit of temper. But yeah, that was the best horse by a
Jesus.
long shot in that allowance. But yeah, his heart is really what's going to make him a star when it comes to these big field performances.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's one of those horses that's just a winner. You know, it's got the heart to perform in these big spreads because it's not getting spooked by its competition.
Oh, that was crazy because I think I had Kosa Caper as I think my first or second. I think, and I might
Most
have
paper
had
was up there.
Supersonic. Was he? No, I think I might have had the one of the other horses that you had. I think Hop Skip. I think he was
Yeah,
my
Hopskip was up
first.
there.
Yeah, I think I
Hopskip was
had.
up on the list.
Yeah, I was thinking Hop Skip was was gonna be first.
And Hopskip
Um.
got money. Hopskip got paid at fifth. You get paid at fifth in these free rolls.
Oh, do you really?
Uh-huh. There's
Oh.
no race entry fee. These are the ones you qualify
Oh.
by racing stakes, and if you have enough
Oh
points, then you
shoot.
get a race in these for free.
Okay, see, yeah, but I assume Hop Skip was gonna be first, and then I think was Kosa was gonna be second. But you got Arturo, yeah, you got the first one. That was crazy. Oh crap, man! I need to start doing these picks more often.
Yeah, I mean, during
Wow.
big race nights, they are aggressively and eagerly giving out S minus and S grade fillies. So anybody that guesses an exacta right, if you get the
Mm-hmm.
first and second right, and they run like 8 or 10 races, so you can go do some race prep, do your digging, make your picks. You can't put in your selection picks in the game for money
Mm-hmm.
until the pick window opens, but you can do your PFL DRF research ahead of
Mm-hmm.
time, bake out your picks, win some horses, win a free horse or two. You never know what's going to be a winner. Ian
Mm-hmm.
is breeding these horses in the Boss stables. Win you a free horse, and if you're that confident on your pick, throw an 80 Derby down. You know, 80 Derby on this fella would have netted me enough for 2 breeds.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. You never
Damn.
know. You know, it's easy money on these high odds, and this is one where if you're looking at betting odds, so like if we had the pick pools open, we would have seen like the number 5. We can see how much he got bet on.
Mm-hmm.
So the pick subsidy, if you scroll up, I think it'll tell the pick subsidy. I think it was just no, they don't have it. You pick pool, no. But they juiced the place for 160 and the show for 80 on every horse. And it
Oh,
looks like
look at that. Weird Wins was the last one too. We were talking about it.
yeah. And he was that S that looked
Yeah.
good on paper, but he was an S, you know.
Yeah. And I had put him
Um,
too. Whew.
I think maybe it was like juice with 2K or maybe 1.6, and the rest was just kind of filled in. Probably 1.6K, I would imagine. So they put 1.6K on each of these 18 horses to juice the pool up.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see number 5 didn't get a whole lot of love. He didn't even get a full 1,000 bet on him. So number
Oh.
5, if he was looking really good on paper, so
Mm-hmm.
not the 5th place, but yeah, the green number 5 there, the Arturo who
Oh.
won. See that 22x? That was the
Yeah.
betting odds because
Oh.
not many people put money down on him.
What? Oh man, you
So
would have made a good. You would have made
the
a
number
nice
1 horse
chunk.
had 5K put on him. Number
Number
6
what?
had 6.4K.
I
Number
say that
1,
again. That number
one
one.
horse, Rod Tang.
Oh yeah.
So Rod Tang was one that looked really good on paper, on based on like wins against other horses. But when we dove into it, Rod
Mm-hmm.
Tang was one of the first ones that like I don't even know if we pulled Rod Tang up.
No, we
Honestly,
didn't. We didn't.
you know, he had a few wins, but it just wasn't enough to
Oh,
shine.
Avernus.
Everybody else just looked at him and saw that he'd beat other horses and put the
Yeah.
money down. You know,
Supersonic. He was a favorite, right?
he was the betting favorite. So if you look at the 3 horse,
Yeah.
7.5K Derby to win was put down on number 3. So
Oh
and
man, shit, that's
and here's the
crazy.
thing. In these picks,
Mm-hmm.
right? If nobody guesses the right horse, the house
Mm-hmm.
wins because there's picks in.
Oh.
If there's money down on the horse that actually wins, whoever put the money down is the one that wins it. So if the house is the only one that puts money down on the winner, the
Mm-hmm.
house gets the pot.
Damn. That's crazy, man. And not many people, but I mean, we didn't like go and break down so much information. I mean, we were going slower for me, but you had already
You get a
pointed
hat.
this out and figured this out on your own, and but at a faster speed. And you would have made a good of money. Oh hell no, dude.
Yeah.
No, next picks were you're coming along.
Yeah, and I've done
Oh
live pick selections.
Jesus.
My best ever was probably back in probably December, January timeframe.
Hmm.
I was doing a show with Mo, and we had a major up or something.
Hmm.
And of the 5 races that we as a group collaboratively handicapped,
Hmm.
I had one trifecta, one exacta, and 2 other first place on the nose guesses. And I didn't put any picks in on them because I didn't have any derby to put picks down. I was just kind of like handicapping races like this and talking about like which ones I felt had the potential. And of those 5 races, I only missed guessing the winner on one race, and he got a third or a fourth. And every other race, I had at least guessed the winner right, but 2 of the races I had guessed more than that with an exact and a trifecta. And that was just like, holy shit! But I don't do it too often myself because there
Hmm.
is a factor of luck and RNG in there,
True, true, true.
and I like to keep a little bit of derby for snatching, people's um, hasty mistakes
Yeah.
at 400 derby, 150 derby, 250 derby. Like I'm a thrift store staple, but I've collected some original masterpiece artworks at
Hmm.
those thrift shops. Like I like to have a little bit of that. And if you're really confident about a pick, 80 derby's not that much. If you got a
Hmm.
long shot pick that you're confident on, risk that 80 derby. If it hits, you're going to be really, really up. And if it's a miss, as long as you're not doing it on every single race, you're not
Yeah.
going to be bleeding money.
Can you explain
But in
that?
ones like
The
this,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish
no,
what you're saying.
yeah, I was gonna say in ones like this, we had a pretty good idea that our thorough would at least podium. So you could slap 80
Damn.
derby. You
Mm-hmm.
could literally just do 80 derby, win, play, show.
Jeez. Yeah, and that's
The show pool has 80 derby max in it. Nobody put a derby pick other than the house at show. So if he would have
that's
got third place,
crazy.
you would have gotten that 1.4K from the show pool would have been
Mm-hmm.
100% yours.
Damn. But you were the one that told me to move it up though. I didn't even. I mean I did see that he's a soft horse, but I would have. I don't know if I would even put him in my top three. I was just looking at hop skip and Casa Caper. You told me to move it
Charts
up. That's
charts tell you a
crazy.
little bit.
Yeah.
Fleet figures tell you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, fleet figures give you data
Mm-hmm.
that can be good or bad data. You have to really analyze the races because if you go and look at the fleet figures and you're just look at his max fleet figure, or look at this fleet figure that he put up on this race, and you go
Mm-hmm.
look at that race, and it's not a stakes race, it's a allowance. Now you're just running good because you have high temper, you're carrying weight, and you ran to your maximum potential because you weren't affected by it. You have to
Mm-hmm.
really analyze where those fleet figure numbers come in. But if you go down and look at the charts and see kind of if you've got a horse that's raced 20, 30 times across a spread of different surface types,
Mm-hmm.
you can really lean into figuring out what your horse's hidden surface preference is. You've got your visible boost preferences, but those stars, that's not your horse's like genetic preference on what he likes to run on.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the tracks he's going to get boosted on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Supersonic is boosted on left dirt firm. But if this was a turn horse that had more right DNA, it might prefer right track, but it may not run as well as it does on left
Mm-hmm.
because of the 2.5 stars of left boost. So if you get a right preference horse with left stars, it'll run above average. But if you get a left preference horse with left preference stars, it's going to run like a maniac.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've struggled to believing that the stars for Lefter Firm or whatever for these horses, for example, I was always thinking that that's their how did you word it um like what
Well, there's
makes them
preference
instead of what you
and then,
said that yeah
yeah.
like what makes them this is how they came out instead of it's just boosts, right?
Yep. So the stars are boosts. So that's their boost preference.
Yeah.
And then they have a hidden genetic. There's, I believe they've said there are 3 hidden traits, but they will not confirm or deny what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So Like distance, that's one that people have theorized as a preference. Weather, like how rainy it is, not necessarily how it affects the surface, but if it's rainy, you know, that's one that people have said maybe has something to do with it. But yeah, those hidden preferences of just what they like. That's the genetics and the breeding side. And then the stars you can see on every horse, even unrevealed. So you know what their boosts are. For me personally, that tells me that each of these directions probably have genetic preferences that are coded into these horses as well, not just the preferences portion, but the actual, or not the boosts portions, but the actual preferences. And when you look at the PFP combinations, you can see that pretty prevalent that some will, you know, give stars really, really heavily, like RDF or something. And then as you get more of these turn horses coming back to them, you're introducing, you know, turf or soft or right. And you're kind of watering down those natural preferences, but you're still keeping boosts by boosting the stars back up. But yeah, leaning into kind of prioritizing your bloodline pools and knowing how to really read the bloodline charts to be like, okay, this is a left dirt soft course. And even though this is a left dirt firm horse in preferences that are showing on the boost side, his bloodline shows a ton of left dirt soft blood. So you'll go back and look at race history on some of those horses that have a ton of soft blood in their lineage, but maybe not necessarily preferences, and they'll run better on soft than on firm when they have 2.5 firm stars.
Damn, man. Oh,
And that's something. It could be labeled as anomalous data, but at the same time, it's something I've noticed since I first got here. Is like there are just some horses that will run better completely off preference. And we kind of see that in Kosa Caper. Kosa Caper is one of those ones. It's a firm
oh
horse
yeah,
only with a half
firm
or
horse.
firm, right? It's got half preference. I bet you if we look at the bloodline of Kosa Caper, we're probably going to see a lot of soft blood because if you look at Kosa Caper's soft track performance, it's actually pretty solid.
Oh,
Well, this just looks like low firm preference blood, so maybe no soft blood in this one. I don't know where the soft preference came from on this one, unless it's the other half of mom down there. Tawny Leaper, if you go down to, is there any soft on that side? Nope.
no,
All just
maybe
low firm preference. So maybe it's, you know, it stems back from even
the
before
great
that. This
great parents.
could be a PFP related thing to where like Rose of Zion, you know, Rose of Zion is the female Ziggy. So this has got male to female Ziggy. Yeah, who knows where it's coming from? Some of these like low firm preference, uh, Gen Zero
Oh, right
horses.
here, General
Yep,
Duke.
so we got one soft there,
Whoa.
General Duke. But I would say that just about any of your low preference on the firms are PFP matches that was a soft to a firm PFP blend. So any of these like 1 star and half star Gen Zeros that you're seeing, there's going to be PFP markers that hand down these soft traits for running on soft track. And that's kind of everything goes back to the PFPs. And when the PFPs were originally bred in the Gen Zero ticket breeding, you would actually be able to select 2 PFPs. It would tell you how many stat matches you had. It would tell you the preferences of the horse. It wouldn't tell you their subgrade stats, but it would give you boosts at every tier within those subgrades and show you like plus or minus boosts. So if you go to like Arturo, go ahead and pull up Arturo, the winner. And I'll just show you really quick one thing to look at on like the originating PFPs for determining kind of how good those PFP matches and potential, you know, preferences. Go ahead and go to Firefight, that A plus
Oh,
down there.
that's right here.
It's Jester to Robin Hood. So when they paired these 2 PFPs together, the data they were given, if you click that little drop down box where it says Generation Zero up top,
Okay.
yep, click that. Those are the boosts that were given. So what they saw when they paired these PFPs together was 3 stars of left, 2 stars of dirt,
Oh, I
2
didn't even see
stars of
that.
soft, 2 boosts to start, 3 boosts to speed, 1 to stamina, 3 to finish, 1 to heart, 2 to or 1 to temper. So if you take the stats, right? A+ start got a bonus of 2. So the natural start of this comparison was 2 grades below A+ or even grade A. But something good in this comparison of PFPs boosted that by 2 grades or 2 subgrades up to A+. Speed got 3 subgrades. So this was also an A grade match on speed that got boosted 3 times to S minus. Stamina was an A, got boosted once to A+. Finish was an A, got boosted 3 times to S minus. Heart was an A, got boosted once to A+. Temper was an A, got boosted once to A+. So this was a dead even A grade breed that, because of PFP matches, got increased to an A+ +2.
Damn.
And you could do this on any Gen 0 horse. So any of them that's just a PFP to PFP, you could drop down that Generation 0 ticket on and really deep dive. Now, I don't do this for placing picks.
Yeah.
I do this when I'm trying to pick up, like scores off of markets and things. I'll go through and look at originating PFPs, originating matches, their bonus counts, matches to matches, like Gen 0 to Gen 0. I dive in and I'll analyze all of that when I'm hunting markets. But for picks, I don't quite go that deep, but you can really dive in and even down to the PFP level, see where some of those preferences came from. I was expecting to see a lot more soft in Arturo's race history, but oh no, not Arturo, in Costa Caper's race history. But yeah, Arturo, we're probably going to see a lot of strong soft at the beginning of breeding on him. But yeah, man, the data's there. You're just going to have to know how to read it. Like I said, PFLDRF.com is where you pull up these race charts. And hey, if you hit big, toss them a little dono. They don't charge anything for this data. This is third-party ran. So if you go to the top, if you go to the top, there's a little support PFL Forms button right there. So if you hit big, Liberty Tree Stables is the one who runs this.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah, if you win big, say you got an 80 Derby pick and PFL DRF is what got you that 3K win. Toss them 500 Derby. Toss them, whatever the equivalent of like $5 or whatever, because if they win you $30, might as well tip them. They're putting this data out here, and this is really clutch data when it comes to handicapping races.
Oh, you said Liberty Tree Stable? Oh yeah, I see right here. Okay. Oh wow, man. This is definitely a useful tool. I mean, how else would you start doing picks, right?
In my opinion, PFL DRF is the single most useful third-party software for photo finish. And that's just because there's so much data you get out of these forms between race history, quality of comparison. So right there, what you clicked on, it'll just open the pick windows, and if the pick window's open, that's when you be like, okay, I've done my research, I know who I want to put it on. Click on make your picks. It opens
open betting window.
And
I didn't see that.
And then you just click on. There'll be a little tick box next to the name. So if Arturo was your pick, you click on the little box. It'd be there, next to where the finish time is showing right now, and you just click on that, and then it would say make pick or make selection, and ask how much to put in. Slap in how much you want to pick, and that's it. Your pick is placed.
Damn. Okay. Oh, and just real quick, there's a side note. You said trifecta, effecta, I think, right? What is that?
So an exacta is when you guess the first and second place right, and a trifecta is when you guess first, second, and third in order.
You said effecta, right?
Exacta is second.
Exacta.
Trifecta is all three, and exacta is first and second.
First and second, and there's no other one after that.
I mean, they've got other ones.
Yeah,
they've got
first and third or something like that. I think there's other like betting combinations that you can land, but those are the only two that really seem to be popular for photo finish.
Mm-hmm.
Is for like horse winnings, it's all exactas and trifectas. For just making picks, like they have in the past had like exacta and trifecta picks. Like they had a trifecta competition, I think, at one point where they
Mm-hmm.
had some pretty big derby rewards for anybody that guessed a trifecta in their
Ooh.
pick pool. But I'm pretty sure that one you had to pay to play. It was like
Yeah.
an evolving jackpot, I think. But
Is that does it matter on the order of when you pick those three?
yeah, you got to pick them in order.
Oh, you can't just like, okay, I think you pick the right horses, but they're in the wrong order. Can you still
Right.
get money from that, or it has to be?
No, it has to be the right order.
Oh, okay, okay, wow, okay. Well, let me know when there is the next pick, and I would like to do, if we're gonna do a session or if we do a Twitter space or something. I definitely want to uh kind of go along with you on that and see how it turns out. But even, obviously you play reasonably, because, it's not guaranteed you're going to win. So, but I mean, what do
Don't
they
place
say?
picks that you can't afford.
Yeah, there
If
you
you
go.
can't afford to do it, don't do it.
Yeah,
But
if you can't afford, don't do
you
it.
got a couple hundred derby just burning a hole in your pocket, and there's nothing on the marketplace worth snatching.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, could be worth trying to put an 80 derby pick down because then you might have a couple thousand for your shopping spree.
Yeah. So, yeah, let me know. Let's try to schedule something on that because I definitely want to
Yeah,
start
and we
maybe
can see
doing
what's
this.
coming up. If you go to like the juice pools, those are the big ones. Like I said, the next big juice pool is the Kingmaker series tomorrow at 4 p.m. Let's see here. Today
Uh,
is yes Sunday. So yeah, the big races. If you go to the home and then go to the race schedule,
oh, wait, hold on. You said
season calendar.
home, race schedule. Where's that at? Race schedule.
So if you scroll down past like the feed, you'll see just under the window that has like the live feed. Season 21, week 3, October 21st, November 18th, ends in 7 days.
Okay.
And there's a
Yeah.
little button that says season calendar.
Okay. Oh,
So
season
season
calendar.
calendar, when you see like um, any of these, like the Kingmakers, that's what's coming up, right? Fool's Day
Mm-hmm.
is next Monday, not tomorrow, but the 18th. So the week we're on right now is week 4.
Week
So
4. Oh, right here. Okay.
yep, and we're on. So Sunday, qualifiers in for the major series. No big races today, and then
Oh, right here.
tomorrow we have Monday
Monday
Mayhem
Mayhem.
and then
Okay.
G1 Kingmaker. There'll be pick pools on those, and then all week long during the Third Time Championship, Harbor Classic, Rookie Rally, Artemis Cup, and Kentucky Derby.
Hmm.
They will, and even the graded stakes final, all the juvenile graded stakes finals that happen that following Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All of those will have pick pools,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll probably also have third time employees coupled up with the streamers giving away horses for anybody that just guesses the right exacta or trifecta in chat.
Oh.
Guessing first and second gets you an S minus. Guessing first, second, and third in the right order gets you an S grade. Handbred by Ian, based on Fibs horses that he had originally put in the state in the pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Ian's been breeding them, and Bryce had said Ian has actually a program that will actually he puts in the horse or the filly, and it will find the best stud in the game or a
What?
list of
No way.
best matching studs for quality breeds, and then he just breeds
Uh,
that breed.
And you did say that you've won some of these already, right?
Vampire. Vampire
Vampire.
came from a boss stable breed. The only problem with Vampire is it was a risky breed because of the downgrade to heart and temper to the
Mm-hmm.
downgrade in heart and temper combo. Now that
Mm-hmm.
could have crit rolled up into something quality, but it's hard to read without stakes performance.
Yeah.
So everything was just like a one step upgrade across the board, other than stamina, which was a 2-step upgrade.
Didn't she
So
break her maiden? We
she broke her
already
maiden
we broke her
77
maiden
on the
already.
very first race, and then we
Oh,
tried a
okay.
stakes. She didn't really perform in the stakes, but we ran good instead of fast, and that could have been the indicator. Then we
Mm-hmm.
ran a yielding. She didn't perform in the yielding, and that was with carrying weight. So I'm thinking we've got to lean fast if we want to race her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a whole lot of firm stars, so she's probably going to struggle against a lot of the fast spread. But fast is going to be the way. Putting up that 77 at that 7 furlong fast on the maiden race, that's a really solid number for an S.
So
That's a
like
really
you,
solid number.
so like you said though, I mean, they have these different what do they call sessions or streams, right? And you can guess the right one, right trifecta, right, or effecta. I think that's what you said, right? Or exacta, sorry.
Trifecta gets you an S, and exacta gets you an S minus.
And you can win yourself a free horse.
Ready to race. It'll be 2 years old and ready to race.
So, what else was I was gonna mention here? Oh, okay. So yeah, send me a message when you're gonna get on, and maybe I could try to catch you on there. And then, but this will be off the session. Obviously, we can talk about setting up like a Twitter space or something and kind of going through it. Okay. Is there any other information that for picks?
I think pretty much covered picks.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot more. Don't be sloppy with it. I mean, you can just throw out guesses if you want to, but if you really dive in and do your homework, you can make very educated guesses and have a much better success rate in your picks. So, just pay attention to the data, learn how to read it. The faster you get at reading that data, the easier and faster you're going to be able to place those picks and kind of move on. But yeah, there's a whole world of Derby in the pick side. And for folks that haven't delved into it, you're missing out on there. You're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, I need to start dabbling into it.
Especially in the juiced pick pools. Because if you can land a pick in the juiced ones, especially at an 18 to 20x multiplier,
oh yeah,
you're real pretty. I like low bet, high upside potentials.
Yeah, and you would have made a decent amount just from that Arturo because, like you were saying, that nobody was really or no one betted on him, right? Or not really?
Yeah, it was a 22x. So
Jesus.
if you put 80 Derby down, it would have returned 1,760 Derby.
Just like that from a small 80.
You know, if you did a small big bet of 500 Derby, so like $6, you know, 500 Derby on Arturo would have netted 11,000 Derby back.
Just like that, people.
Almost $150 worth of Derby on a $5 bet.
I know, right? Oh yeah.
Well,
oh, that's it, Vox.
Yeah.
That's it. We're doing it. We're gonna start doing some picks here and there. I mean, within reason. But
there's money to be made for quality handicappers if you can really learn how to handicap these races well and eye these picks. And there's been races where I've been like, yo, this horse right here, hands down winner, and that horse wins by like four horse lengths. Sometimes you just see one and you just know this horse has got it. It's five fleet figure higher on the average fleet figure on this exact race preference. It's got really high heart. You know, it's got a 75% race record winning at this, these conditions. That's when you can be like, all right, I'm feeling super confident about this horse. I'm gonna put 500 Derby on it, and then you get those big returns. But the more at surface glance a horse looks good, the more other people will start dumping money into it.
Yeah.
And also people will follow trends. If a horse isn't necessarily the morning line odds favorite, but has become the betting favorite, some people will just juice up the favorite pool, assuming other people did their homework.
Yeah.
But just
you saw that Supersonic and the other one, they were not they were all what 6th, 7th place,
Yeah.
So hey, when you get one of those, burn this thought right into your brain. If you see anything like that, you ping me and send me the link. All right.
There's usually about one every night of race series. That's one of those just like this horse looks way stronger than the rest.
Yeah.
Arturo, I don't think was one that looked that much stronger than the rest. He just had the soft. He has the race data, historical race data. He's got
the heart from his parents
at closest distance, he's got that really high heart from the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to see that heart on the mom's side more than trying to get the heart from the dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
If the mom starts with high heart, typically it rolls to pretty good heart. So this could be one of those. I've seen SS minus to S minus roll SS heart. We could have an SS heart situation here.
Mm-hmm.
And if his other stats, similar to like Bad Roll Boss, the one I picked up, he's an S with S minus speed and stamina, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he has SS heart. This would have been like a race where in those short races, he would have really tapped into a high heart potential and just inexplicably ran better in stakes than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But getting them to the point where you're comfortable running them in stakes can be difficult unless you
True.
start with a high breed, a really high heart roll breed. Then you'll know, okay, I've got a stakes runner. This horse has stakes potential. So like
Mm-hmm.
Tanalor, mad stakes potential. I don't think we've gotten close to tapping into Tanalor's heart because she is an SS minus mom
Mm-hmm.
heart to an S plus dad heart. So there's
Oh.
a chance Tanalor has SS heart as well. And the first time she gets into a stakes,
Mm-hmm.
she might just put up an 87 fleet figure,
Oh.
95 fleet figure. We don't know.
Let me cut you there. Let me close this out. Just in case, is there anything else before we close this out that you wanted to
I
mention?
think that pretty much covers it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ping me on Discord. I'm more than happy to clarify anything, or if anything was hazy, just reach out. I'm always willing to help folks that are willing to learn.
And that's on Twitter or X. That's what is that? Voxton at Voxton Live.
Voxton Live on X and Voxton on the PFL Discord. Either one works.
Okay. That concludes our session. Thank you very much, Fox, for this. And like I said, we'll have to try to gather up and start trying to do some picks here and there. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
You do the same, brother.